Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 4 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we start the round of 8 in the playoffs. Obviously we have advanced and we are 4 points out coming into this round, so we certainly have work to do, but there's no better place to start it off than a track like Martinsville where we've had a lot of success. We've come through in qualifying with a 19.826 and go P11 here in our qualifying effort, which is pretty good here considering we usually start around 16th to 17th. So we have a little bit of work to do, but I'm confident we can move forward. And on the pole, we got Kurt Busch here to start the race.
The NASCAR playoffs continue at Martinsville with the running of the first Data 500. Only 8 drivers still have a shot to take home that coveted championship. Now, don't let Martinsville's small stature fool you. This classic venue packs quite a punch.
Alright, thank you, Rick Allen. We're ready to go green here for the first Data 500 at Martinsville Speedway. We got Daniel Hemrick, who failed pre-race inspection, so he is starting at the back, along with Joey Gase, who crashed during qualifying. And then we got Corey LaJoie, who failed optical scanning station multiple times. So we got 3 drivers here starting at the back of the field today at Martinsville as we're ready to go green here from the 11th starting position. The round of 8 is about to be underway. Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch lead the front row to green, and the round of 8 is officially green now here in Martinsville Speedway as we go down towards turns 1 behind the Penske duo of Ryan Blaney and Brad Keselowski. We actually push up the track a little bit there through the first corner, but thankfully we keep it pretty clean there as we go down this back straightaway for the first time side by side with the 2 car of Keselowski as we come down into turn 3 of the inside of the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. There you see our rival of Kyle Larson. Still want to get rid of him being a rival. I hate having pretty much my favorite driver being a rival now as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2 behind us. We got some pressure there from the 9 of Chase Elliott as we try to get up the inside of Larson, but couldn't quite get up this inside at that moment as we went down towards turn 3. Trying to play it a little bit safe here with the 42 of Larson, but we would actually lose some time and be running P9 as we came through on lap 8 of 31. Truex putting on some pressure, and I immediately realized we had a bit of an issue. I make a mistake going into turn 3. Truex gets up the inside, some contact made, we drop down to 10th, but the car was really tight on this short run, and I was struggling a lot. I changed the setup from last time because if you guys remember last time at Martinsville, we were wrecking loose on the long run, so I had to make some changes, but I felt like I went too far on the changes. This car was extremely tight. We come through now on lap 10. Chase Elliott just behind us. But everyone was just driving away from me, and my concern level was going up because obviously this is not what we need now. There's a 21 of Palmenard who's actually into the outside wall after blowing a right front tire, it looks like. So that's going to bring out a caution. Jimmy Johnson involved. No one would come to the pit lane. I wasn't going to come to the pit road because we don't want to risk losing any points. But obviously, like I said, this is a big problem for us because we come into this round 4 points out. Obviously, first stage, we're already having trouble in this round as we're once again underway here from P10 behind the 42 of our rival of Kyle Larson as we go down towards turns 1. Behind us, they're going 3 wide with Keselowski, DiBenedetto, and our Stuart Haas racing teammate of the 4 of Kevin Harvick. Chase Elliott up the inside. We're now on the verge of dropping outside of the top 10. Every point is going to matter in this round. It mattered a lot in the last round, and it's going to matter even more in this round as we actually get to the wall out of turns 4 because the car was just so tight. As we go down into turns 1 behind the 2 of Keselowski, we will drop down to P13. Now at this point behind our rival of Kyle Larson as we go down through turns 1 and turn 2. At this point, knowing that we need these stage points, so we got to get aggressive here and maybe put the pressure on the 42 of Larson. That was my biggest obstacle right here as I was starting to get a little annoyed at running behind him. So I give him a bump in turn 4 and nearly turn him there as we exit the corner. Not what I had intended to do, but we certainly moved him out of the way as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2. Up the inside, Larson squeezes us into the grass now as we're both sideways, and we hang on to it as we go down this back straightaway. Tempers flaring with our rival of Larson. We clear him into turn 3 as we go into the corner, and he gives us the bumper and pushes us up the track now as we come through out of turns 4, having to get out of the throttle to keep it out of the wall. And we would continue running behind Larson to now coming to the white flag in the first stage. These stages pretty short here in Martinsville, on only 31 laps. Very quick now as we're putting the pressure once again on Larson as the white flag in stage 1 is in the air. We're going to give him the bumper as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2, trying to get him out of my way at this point. But now that actually gave him a bit of a boost, so he is quite a ways ahead as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here in this first and opening stage now as we give him a bumper again, but not enough as we exit turn 4. It's going to be P13 here in the opening stage, so a big hit now as we're known for running up inside the top 5 regularly here in Martinsville, but we screwed up the setup easily, I could tell, coming into this race. As the longer the run went, it certainly felt like it loosened up a bit, but we definitely need to continue to loosen up this car. So you see me making a bit of a wedge adjustment. I didn't want to go too severe on it. I just went pretty easy just to make sure we didn't go too far on the other direction and make the car too loose. We still gained 2 spots on the pit lane as we're ready to go green here for stage 2. And the green flag is out. Stage 2 is underway. Arrival of Kyle Larson on my outside as we go down towards turns 1 and 2 for the opening lap here in the second stage. Thankfully, we get away from the 42 of Kyle Larson straight away now as we exit turn 2, going side by side with the 88 of Alex Bowman down this back straightaway into turn 3, trying to get up the inside of the 12 now of Ryan Blaney for that Penske number 12 car. Obviously, Blaney won the first 2 races of the playoffs here this season in our career mode, and then obviously he got eliminated in the last round, unfortunately for him now, as we come through, clearing Blaney out of turns 2 as we go down this back straightaway up ahead. Kurt Busch trying to put some pressure on Martin Truex Jr. as they go down into turn 3. Kyle Busch leading over his teammate Denny Hamlin at this point, and still the car was a little bit too tight. It certainly felt better on this stage, and you can see that now once again, though, there's trouble behind us, and this time it's the 3 of Austin Dillon who blows a tire, and he's into the outside wall. That's going to bring out a caution, and we are certainly seeing some tire issues here today in Martinsville. But like I said, we had no need for a pit stop, but I said earlier, like, the car was certainly running better this stage. It felt a little bit looser, but I could tell right away that at the end of the stage, we still need to work on making this car a little bit more free. And as we go through turns 1 and 2 on this restart, unfortunately, on the outside for this restart, so that's going to be a little bit of a setback as we go down this back straightaway side by side with the 9 of Chase Elliott as he was eliminated in the last round of the playoffs. He had a very rough round, obviously, just kind of like he did a round of 8. In real life, he had a rough round of 12 that put him out of the playoffs, unfortunately, as we go down into turns 1 on the outside of the 32 of Corey LaJoie, who's showing some potential here today in Martinsville as we drift down to P10 at this point now as we would come through, now gaining another spot, though, up to P9 as we came through on lap 17, looking up the inside of Corey LaJoie. The one car we did pass was Kurt Busch now as we come through out of turns 4, clearing the 32, and now we would set our sights on the back of the 9 now of Chase Elliott. And we're going to look to the inside of him as we go down towards turns 1, and we're going to make a pass now on the 9 of Elliott. So certainly the car is starting to come alive later in the stage. It certainly was feeling a lot better, but we gave up so many points there, obviously, potentially in stage 1, that we definitely need to get whatever we can here. As came through now, running down the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. with just 5 laps to go in the stage, certainly showing a lot more potential as we came through now, approaching the final lap, though, actually getting Paul Menard to my inside there as we exit turn 4, as I tried to make a move to the outside of Truex because they're dealing with lap traffic now as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2 on this final lap of the stage. And right now Kyle Busch leads the way down the back straightaway as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here in the stage. We're going to try and make it 3 wide on the outside here with Menard and Keselowski as we come through on the exit of turns 4 side by side with a playoff contender. We clear the 2 of Keselowski and still get P7 at the line here in stage 2. So we got 4 points, but I still feel like we just don't quite have enough right now. We just need to make another adjustment here, and hopefully this will be the adjustment we need. We would obviously pay for 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires here now as we get ready to go green for this third and final stage here at Martinsville. Now, I did go make an adjustment there after, you didn't see that after I cut the frame up, but we did make another wedge adjustment as we get ready to go green for this third and final stage here in Martinsville. The green flag is back out. Clint Boyer, our teammate, leads the way. Not a good restart for Martin Truex Jr., and that slows me up as we go down towards turns 1, but we get back up the inside of the 2 of Keselowski anyways as Boyer leads the way. Hamlin and Kyle Busch side by side, 2 teammates trying to make it into the final 4 as we go down into turn 3. Paul Menard having a very solid run. He has actually been up in this top 10 a lot more recently here in our career mode, so certainly if he could have done what he's doing now earlier in the season, he could have been a playoff contender. Now he's going into turns 1 of the inside of the 22 of Joey Logano, going a little bit deep into the corner, but we keep it clean now as we exit turn 2 side by side with the Shell Pennzoil driver as we go down into turn 3, still of the inside of the 22. Chase Elliott putting some pressure on from behind now as we exit turn 4 side by side, but we have the edge on Joey Logano as we cross the line. 56 laps to go here in Martinsville, which is not a lot of time. Certainly sounds like a good chunk of time, but a track like this where it takes about 20 seconds to get around, it's not a lot of time at all as we continue to battle side by side with Logano, but I decided to be a little generous and let him have the position. Now as we came through, we would actually lose time to Logano though, so still not quite where the car needs to be, but no one was really putting any pressure on me now. But we have some trouble again though, and the 13 of Ty Dillon has gone spinning out. Looks like he blew a rear tire. Jimmy Johnson got involved for the second time today, so obviously that brings out a caution. It groups us all back together as we would pit for 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires and lose 2 positions and drop down to P9 here for this restart. So certainly not looking like our typical Martinsville selves here today at the paperclip. Now as the green flag though does come back out, we are once again underway at this point here. 40 laps remain. We're used to running up inside the top 5, top 3, and even leading here in Martinsville. And unfortunately today we haven't even been in the top 5 once now as we're side by side with the 21 of Paul Menard. Last time here we finished second. We kind of lucked into a second place finish, but we were still running up towards that top 5 most of the race until the car started to fall off later in the run where it got loose. But we still managed to get a second place finish. Now as we've got 39 to go, as we go down into turns 1, clearing the 21 of Paul Menard as we exit turn 2 behind the 11 of Denny Hamlin. We know Denny Hamlin, one of the favorites always here at Martinsville. Very unfortunate obviously that he didn't win the championship in real life. I would have loved him to see him win that, but we come through now in lap 88. Chris Buescher had actually gotten up my inside, and now the 4 of Kevin Harvick's putting on some pressure. I tried to slow up to get behind the 37, but Harvick pounces on the opportunity now as we get into the wall on the exit of turn 4, making some mistakes. We drop outside of the top 10, but we would come through now up the inside of William Byron on lap 93, so re-entering the top 10 as Almirola had moved forward. We were running down once again our teammate of the 4 of Kevin Harvick. We would come through on lap 97 of the inside of Chris Buescher, who had started losing a little bit of pace, and we would be able to slide up the inside into turns 1 with 28 to go, hitting the curb a little bit, but we would still be able to take the 9th position away, so trying to rally our way back forwards here. And now as we came through on lap 106, 20 laps to go, still running P9 at this point as there's more trouble. Ryan Blaney goes into the outside wall after blowing a tire as well. He nearly cleaned out the 9 of Chase Elliott, but he collects Kyle Larson coming back down the track, but he got into the back of Elliott and nearly cleaned him right out. Now as a caution once again flies here with 20 laps to go, setting us up for a restart. We got right back into the action because there was no need for pit stop, so once again we are on our way here with 17 laps to go, and obviously this could be an opportunity here running on the inside. They're going 3 wide behind us, Buescher, Elliott, and Menard now as we actually got a little bit of damage on the front bumper. We've gotten to the back obviously of our teammate of Kevin Harvick, which you saw there on that restart into turns 1 as we look up the inside of the 19 of the Joe Gibbs Racing driver of Martin Truex Jr. as we exit turn 4 side by side down the back front straightaway. We clear Truex as we go down into turns 1, but he tries to battle back up the outside of me as we come through the center of the corner, but he doesn't really have much for us. Now as we get to the inside once again of Joey Logano, who we were battling with earlier in this event, as we come down into turns 3. So now late here in Martinsville, we are moving our way forwards towards a top 5 position here, P6 behind the 5th place driver of Brad Keselowski now as we came through out of turns 4 on lap 113, trying to put that pressure on Keselowski. We get very sideways on the exit of the corner, and we nearly crash down the front straightaway, and Logano takes over the position, and somehow we held on to the car. That could have been our playoffs big just done right there, because that would have taken us out, and we would have been probably 25-30 points out if we would have crashed right there. So we come through with 5 to go, still running behind the 22 of Joey Logano. At this point I'm just trying not to do something silly, so we come to 2 laps to go, still trying to put the pressure at least on the 22 of Joey Logano, but now Kyle Busch leading the way as he went down into turn 3 and turn 4. You see up ahead, lap traffic becoming a factor now as we approach this final lap here at Martinsville Speedway out of turns 4, putting the pressure on the 22 of Joey Logano. Kyle Busch leads the way as we go down into turns 1 and turn 2. We look up the inside of Joey Logano now as we come through the center of the corner, getting every point possible as we're side by side down the back straightaway for the final time here at Martinsville Speedway into turns 3. Truex putting on some pressure, but not enough. Kyle Busch, though, out of turns 4, will win here in Martinsville as we come through to clear Logano, and we're going to come through to finish in the 6th position here today at Martinsville Speedway. So Kyle Busch locks himself into the final 4. Can he get championship number 2? Obviously, we started this career mode when he only had 1 championship, so we consider him to be a one-time champion, at least in this career mode. But we come out of Martinsville, we lost 5 points today here in Martinsville, 9 points out after the race. I said we screwed up the setup and played catch-up all day long. We've got some work to do here in the coming races at Texas, a track that we were terrible at earlier this season. ISM Raceway, we struggled, so the next 2 races, I really don't know how it's going to go. We're definitely in a bit of a situation where we're going to need some help, and hopefully we can find it. There is Elliott not very happy, Almirola not very happy, and same as Martin Truex Jr., but it's Martinsville. We expect some drivers to be fairly unhappy with us, unfortunately. Now, as always, though, if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. So I'd like to thank you all for taking the time of your day to watch this video. In the next one, we go to Texas. Like I said, earlier this season, we were terrible at this racetrack, so hopefully we can figure something out this time around, as we're 9 points out, so we can't afford a bad finish at all, not even a bad stage finish. So we're going to need some luck on our side, hopefully, and I hope that we can get it. So I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.